Abraham, originally known as Abram, was a righteous man whom God chose to establish a covenant with. He and his wife Sarah lived in the land of Canaan. However, Sarah was barren and unable to conceive a child. Despite this, God promised Abraham that he would have descendants as numerous as the stars in the sky. In their desire for a child, Sarah proposed that Abraham take her maidservant Hagar as a concubine so that they could have a child through her. Abraham agreed to Sarah's suggestion, and Hagar became pregnant. When Hagar realized she was expecting, she began to despise Sarah, which caused tension and conflict in their household. Sarah complained to Abraham about Hagar's disrespectful behavior, and Abraham told Sarah that she could do as she wished with Hagar. Sarah treated Hagar harshly, and Hagar eventually fled into the wilderness. However, an angel of the Lord found her by a spring of water and told her to return and submit to Sarah. The angel also promised Hagar that her descendants would be numerous, and she would give birth to a son named Ishmael, meaning God hears. Hagar obeyed the angel's instructions and returned to Abraham and Sarah. When Ishmael was born, Abraham was 86 years old. Ishmael grew up in Abraham's household, and Abraham loved him as his own son. 13 years later, when Abraham was 99 years old, God appeared to him and made a covenant, promising that Sarah would bear him a son, who would be named Isaac. God declared that it would be through Isaac that his covenant would be fulfilled. When Isaac was eventually born, Sarah became concerned about the relationship between Isaac and Ishmael. She saw Ishmael mocking Isaac, and she demanded that Abraham cast out both Hagar and Ishmael so that Isaac would not have to share his inheritance with Ishmael. Although Abraham was distressed by Sarah's demand, God assured him that Ishmael would also become a great nation, and he instructed Abraham to listen to Sarah. So early the next morning, Abraham provided Hagar with bread and a skin of water and sent her and Ishmael away into the wilderness. Hagar and Ishmael wandered in the wilderness of Beersheba. When their water ran out, Hagar, fearing for Ishmael's life, placed him under a bush and moved away, not wanting to witness his death. In her distress, she wept. God heard the cries of Ishmael, and an angel appeared to Hagar, assuring her that God had heard Ishmael's voice and would make him into a great nation. The angel showed Hagar a well of water, and they survived in the wilderness of Paran. Ishmael lived in the wilderness and became skilled with a bow. He settled in the wilderness of Paran and married an Egyptian woman. Together, they had 12 sons who became the heads of 12 tribes. Ishmael lived to be 137 years old, and his descendants grew and prospered as God had promised. This is the full story of Ishmael, the son of Abraham, as recorded in the book of Genesis in the Bible. It depicts the various events surrounding Ishmael's birth, his relationship with Abraham and Sarah, and his eventual journey into the wilderness, where he became the father of a great nation. After Ishmael and Hagar settled in the wilderness of Paran, they lived a nomadic life, relying on their hunting and survival skills. Ishmael's descendants, known as the Ishmaelites, became a prominent tribe in the region, They engaged in trade and commerce, particularly as merchants and caravan traders, contributing to the economic and cultural development of the area. As time passed, the Ishmaelites established connections with various other tribes and nations, including the Midianites, Egyptians, and other Arabian tribes. Ishmael's lineage played a significant role in the history and culture of the Arabian Peninsula. In later biblical accounts, Ishmael is mentioned as having interactions with his half-brother Isaac, on occasions such as the burial of their father Abraham. Despite the initial tension between Sarah and Hagar, the descendants of Ishmael and Isaac ultimately shared a common ancestry through Abraham and continued to shape the course of history in different ways. The story of Ishmael holds great significance in Islamic tradition as well. According to Islamic belief, Ishmael is considered a prophet and a forefather of the Prophet Muhammad. Muslims revere Ishmael as an important figure in their religious heritage and draw inspiration from his story of resilience and faith. The descendants of Ishmael, known as the Arab people, went on to play a pivotal role in the development of various civilizations, including the rise of Islam in the 7th century. The influence of Ishmael's lineage can be seen in the cultural, linguistic, and religious aspects of the Arab world. Overall, the story of Ishmael, as depicted in the Bible, highlights the complexities of human relationships, the fulfillment of divine promises, and the enduring legacy of a man whose descendants left a lasting impact on the world.